to be named, is dedicated to Lauren LaHoulier, who has been demanding my salmon recipe. The salmon and curried rice recipes, which I always made for her and Derek because it was their favorite. It's very good, and I told her I would write the recipe down. Unfortunately, I don't remember the recipe until I make it. So I'm going to show you how to make it on this video and then go back and write down the recipe because I don't remember how to make it. Alright, so first things first, I need all my supplies. I'm just going to take this with me because it's easier. So for starters, I need the salmon. Since I live in the Pacific Northwest, we get fresh sockeye salmon. Wah! Alright, this will also require butter. You're looking at my crotch right now. Garlic. I usually use Parmesan, but we're out, so any salty, strong tasting cheese is good. So I have this medium white cheddar cheese. I know it's very potent, so that'll work well. Let's see what else we put. Oh, lemon. Dried parsley, spices. We'll start with those ingredients and go from there. Okay. I'm gonna put you back up where you belong on this nice rigged up camera stand using paper towels, Triscuits, and a plastic mango bag so that I can angle the camera down a little bit. Maybe. Hopefully you can still see me. Alright, I'm gonna move all my shit over here. Here we go. I usually bake the salmon at 350. I'm not sure how long it takes. I'm gonna have to calculate it tonight. Like actually pay attention when I'm baking it, because normally I just watch it and you see the fat starting to seep out of the salmon, and that's kind of when you know it's done. But you also gotta check the thick parts of it because you don't want to undercook it. But if you do, it's okay a little bit, because you don't want to eat overcooked dry salmon. But you can eat undercooked salmon, but you don't want it too undercooked because then it's like raw. So there's like a fine line. So you gotta like poke it, and if it's flaky, that's good. Fish is funny. Okay, so I usually cook it in a 9x13, so we're gonna start with that, baby. Oh, excuse me. Glass 9x13. Some spray. I really hope you can see down. This is really gonna concern me. This is really gonna bother me, and I don't want you to get too much of that shit in here. Well, I'm just gonna hope that's okay. Maybe I should, whatever. We're gonna make that work for now. Okay. Spray the dish. Boom, done. I'm gonna crack open the salmon. From Fred Meyer. Oh, slimy. Ooh, it's got bones in it. That's not good. Alright, I like it with the skin on because then it cooks well. This is just enough for 2 people. Normally I make enough for like 10 because Andrew would always come over and eat a shitload. Right, Andrew? Okay, melt the butter. This is a lot of butter. I don't need this much for this little bit of salmon. I'm gonna cut off a little chunk. A little chunky chunk. And melt it. Ugh. That is probably 2 tablespoons. Yeah, that's about 2 tablespoons. Their butter is shorter and fatter here in the PNW. Whereas back in Michigan, it's long and skinny. What's better? Short and fat, or long and skinny? Whatever gets the job done, right? Okay, I'm gonna recycle this shit because we recycle everything here. Wow. That. Okay. So what we're gonna do is put the melted butter on the salmon. Oh wait, I want to do the lemon first. While I'm pondering this, I'm going to roll the lemon because that makes it easier to squeeze once you cut it in half. Kind of breaks up the juices inside of it. Works good with limes too. I think I learned that on Food Network. I'm really concerned you can't see what I'm doing, so I'm just gonna make this really low. There. Yes, now you're on the mortar and pestle. Maybe you can't see my face. Just lean over. That'll be weird. Oh, my butter is not quite melted. In she goes, 30 seconds more. Alright, so I got my lemon all rolled out. Shit, what am I doing? Yes, okay, so first things first is I usually put the lemon juice on here. There's seeds in lemons, so you can squeeze it and then put the juice on, but I just squeeze it and pick the seeds off because I don't have any standards. There goes a seed. There's another one. There's another one. So yeah, just squeeze it all over the salmon. Just kind of want to make sure the whole thing gets coated. If you have multiple fillets, make sure you cover all the fillets. Oh my gosh, it's the world's most annoying microwave. All right, it's very demanding. So I got my lemon juice on there. I'm kind of giving it a second to seep in. Pulling my seeds off. Closing the worst ever microwave. Alright. I don't need this. So next step is the butter. And what I usually do is I take a spoon and I spoon it on there. Good, I have spoons. For some reason, we're always out of spoons. Alright, so I just kind of like drip it on the salmon. You kind of want to coat the whole thing. And I just take the rounded part of it and like, I can move closer, right? That would be smart. Drizzle it on and just like smooth it over. And you'll notice that since the salmon is cold, the butter kind of solidifies when it's on it. So you kind of want to like put a scoop on and then smooth it over. It looks kind of funny, but obviously when it goes in the oven it will melt because the oven is hot and butter melts in heat. Dong. Okay, so let me backtrack for reference here. I use 2 tablespoons of butter for approximately how much salmon? 3/4 of a pound. Okay, so I'd say you want 2 tablespoons of butter per pound of salmon. Yeah, sure, why not? That's about enough for 2 people. Alright, so I got that on. Now I'm doing my minced garlic. You can use fresh garlic, but I really like this semi-fresh pre-minced shit that you can get at the grocery store because I don't like chopping up garlic if I don't have to, unless I'm chopping up a bunch of other stuff, because it makes your hands stink. I mean, obviously you can wash them, but I don't like washing my hands, which is kind of gross. Alright, so I'm putting 1 tablespoon, nope, teaspoon, 2 teaspoons, we're gonna do 3, maybe 4. Okay, so that's like 4 cloves of garlic, all on 1 salmon. It's a lot of garlic, you say, right? Well, yeah, so hopefully you like garlic. I know Lauren and Derek do because they love the salmon. Or you just don't realize it's there. Maybe that's too much. No, that's enough. Alright, so that's a tablespoon. A tablespoon of garlic. No, it's not. A tablespoon is 3 teaspoons. Whatever. A tablespoon of garlic per fillet, per pound. And then you just kind of spread it all over it. So the whole thing gets injected with deliciousness. Alright, my next step is spices. So I do some salt all over it. Don't be afraid to salt things, it gives them flavor. I knew someone who just hated salting things. Whenever this person made food, it didn't taste good because this person refused to put salt on it because this person thought it was unhealthy. Silly person. why that person wasn't allowed to cook. Okay, salt and pepper. Then, for redundancy, I do onion powder and garlic powder, and I just sprinkle it on each one. There is not really an amount. That was maybe a 1/4 teaspoon. This will be maybe a 1/4 teaspoon. But really, I'm just lightly sprinkling it on top. You don't want to do too much, because I already have garlic, and onion powder is, I don't know, tastes the same. Okay, so I also always put parsley. Sometimes I put paprika, depending on my mood. This is a fairly thin fillet, so I'm gonna skip paprika tonight. Just feeling crazy. This is just dried parsley. Just shake-a-lake it all over the salmon. Shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. That is probably a teaspoon of parsley. I don't know, it's just nicely coated in some dried parsley because it gives it flavor. Alright, last thing is the cheese. Don't forget the cheese, because the cheese is what makes it. Right there. And there loves cheese. Okay, I guess you can do as little or as much as you want. I like to do enough to mostly cover it, I guess. It kind of holds the spices and shit on it. I guess you could skip this step if you're vegan, non-dairy, hate cheese, hate life, you're losing weight on the diet, but you did just smear it in butter. I suppose you could use olive oil instead of butter and make it somewhat healthier, but it's just not going to have quite the same effect. Maybe I should try it with olive oil, that would be healthier. Yeah, so next time I'm making the salmon, healthy version. No cheese, no butter, no taste. Okay, that's it. That is all it takes. And then I will bake it in the oven for probably, this is a thin one, so 10 to 15 minutes-ish. If it were one of those big fatty ones, I'd probably go closer to 20 minutes. But again, you just kind of want to watch it because each fillet is different. I suppose you could use frozen salmon, but it's probably not going to turn out as well, and it doesn't have skin on it, which is why I like to use the frozen stuff. Nope, fresh stuff. So use fresh salmon. Yeah, that's about it. Okay, I'm not cooking it now because Matt's not getting home for another, hour and a half, because he's doing an epic run because he's crazy. So I'm going to set this aside, and I'm going to assemble the curried rice. It's Emerald Lagasse's recipe, so you know it's delicious. That consists of, it was really basic, it's rice, chicken broth, curry powder, onion, garlic. I made it a bajillion times, you'd think I'd remember. A little bit of pepper, some salt. Oh, and then you end it with green onions, which I don't think I have, which is unfortunate because they give it color and flavor. Green onions are just one of those awesome little things. Excuse me, I am gassy. Okay, that's it. Goodbye.